Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, so I was going to call this reading Love Not Being Received, but then I was looking at it and I thought, well, maybe it's to rise above. So I guess we'll get through it and then we'll decide maybe it'll be neither of those things. I am straddling a log on the Blue Ridge Parkway right now, so whatever. We set up where we can. So I started out, and this is kind of a love reading, but it's like more about a heartbreak reading, I think. I kept seeing the Two of Cups and I kept seeing the Ace of Cups, and they were both upright when I kept seeing them while shuffling, but then the Ace of Cups came out reversed. So that's when I was like, oh fuck, love not being received. And then after that we got the King of Fire, the King of Wands, King of Spring in this deck, was upright on top of this. And then we got the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Autumn, 10 of Earth, reversed on top of that. And I just kept, then I couldn't get any cards for the longest time. I had to keep shuffling. So they really wanted me to focus on these three cards to begin with. And that's why I felt like it was to rise above, because obviously with the Ace of Cups being reversed, there is no love being received. It's not fulfilling. And you know, a lot of times, I've got a little friend up here. A lot of times with the Ace of Cups, I feel like it's like you can pour yourself into someone or into a situation or whatever. You can pour yourself in and pour yourself in and pour yourself in. But if they have their cup overturned on the table, it doesn't matter how much you pour into it. They're just not going to receive you, you know? And so you might as well rise above. And then when I get the 10 of Pentacles reversed, it tells of two different things. One is that your foundation is crumbling. It's not as stable as you thought it was. Kind of gives tower vibes sometimes. And along with that, I think there's a recognition of how superficial the foundation was. I don't know. When I get Pentacles cards reversed, I just get a big sense of, with a lot of them, superficiality. And, you know, and to rise above that. And again, it's like he's looking over his shoulder. And the way they were, it was more like this. The 10 of Pentacles was over here and the Ace of Cups was like more underneath him. And he wasn't really looking at this. He was looking over his shoulder, not really acknowledging what's going on. He's just rising above. And that could be part of why the foundation is crumbling. When you're rising above something and you know yourself inside, because he's such a jovial person. So I'm guessing this is you, regardless of what your gender is. I'm feeling like this 10 of Wands, this 10 of fire, this King of Fire, this is you, and this is about you having the strength and the passion and the desire and the creativity and the motivation to acknowledge that whatever's going on, where love isn't being served, and the superficial nature and the really it's a superficial stability, that you can rise above this, that you value yourself more, and the things that you value can't be contained within this materialistic, you know, set point or whatever. So then we move on. We've got the Hermit reversed, the 5 of Cups reversed, the Death card reversed, the 2 of Swords upright, and the 7 of Cups reversed. So taking these two cards, you know, definitely there is a decision either to be made or a decision that has been made. You know, and sometimes people will say, you know, with this 2 of Swords energy, maybe you're not recognizing how many choices that you have. You might think that you've only got two choices, two things to choose from when you've got a decision to make. But you might see that there's another choice, or, you know, as I like to put it, you know, you might see only one door or you know, one road. It's like a fork in the road, and one road loops you back into the rut that you've been walking, and the other road takes you off into the unknown. But if we look at it as doorways, sometimes there's multiple doors that will arise for you. However metaphorical you want to look at it. the way I also like to put it is, just because you believe you only have one or two choices, look at the silly choices you could make at any given moment. You could jump up and do a cartwheel if you wanted to. You could start singing at the top of your lungs if you wanted to. There's so many different things that maybe you're not doing this moment that you could do that maybe have no relevance to the big decision you're making. But sometimes if you choose silliness and nonsense, you'll see that there are way more options available to you than just what your limited mind is allowing you to perceive. And with that Seven of Cups reversed, I mean, again, it is about making a decision about what you really want, what you truly, really want. But I also feel like with that Seven of Cups, it's also often about shutting down the peanut gallery, because sometimes you'll decide what you want and you'll start focusing on it, but then all these other people come in, either with, well, you know what I think you should do, or they come in with, well, I need you to do this and I need you to do that. And so you're not prioritizing that which you most want. And so again, whatever the decision that you settle on, not only is it, see that you probably have multiple options, but also make sure you're committing to yourself and the choice that you have made, regardless if others agree with it or, approve of it or whatever. This is your choice to be made. And then we come back into kind of this heartbreak energy. We've got the Hermit card and the Death card reversed around this Five of Cups reversed energy. And so it kind of feels like, in light of all this choice making with this energy, maybe you have, prolonged and maybe even procrastinated making the choice that is most aligned to your healthy decisions, most aligned to maybe your destiny even. But you recognize that you have to make a big change. And part of this big change could be accepting that you need to walk away from someone or something, and it feels like that's what's held you in this holding point, and why there's a need to rise above. There's a need to recognize that love isn't being received. You're not receiving love, and whatever the person or the situation is, they're not receiving your love. And so whatever this pertains to in your life. And so it really feels like, even with trying to hold on and maybe hoping that maybe the person will come around or the situation will come around. Again, it's like clinging to an outcome, and there's finally a recognition that that outcome really is no longer an option for you. And that's hard, but in that recognition, what's beautiful about this is that in that in that stagnation or in that prolonging or even procrastination, you have been undergoing a transformative process. And so, like when they say no decision is still a decision, indeed, that's what this reading is about. No decision is still a decision, and you have been going through some sort of alchemical shift anyway. And so with this Hermit reversed, you've kind of put yourself into some sort of isolation, and with it being reversed, it's like you're coming out of that with this decision, and now you're coming out of hiding or whatever, recognizing all this sort of stuff. And I think with this recognition comes also the recognition that you have changed. And so even if suddenly, miraculously, the thing you've been holding on to, hoping it would turn around, even if it were to suddenly, miraculously work out, it kind of feels like you're just not the same person anymore, and it's not really what you want anymore. And whether it's the relationship or a job or a living situation or whatever it is, you're just not the same person. So isn't that beautiful that you, again, I keep hearing the word alchemy. You have been experiencing this beautiful alchemical process. And even if it's been slow and painful, you have transformed, you have changed. And so now you get to stand up and dust yourself off and go seek the next adventure. All right, that's all I have for today. Peace and love until next time.